Hi guys, Coach RJ here and welcome to our new episode of RJ's Math and Science Workshop where we learn as one and we learn with fun. So it is a nice day today and new learning and new opportunity to learn, okay guys? So this is up for our new episode of Integral Calculus class, and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel and click the bell button for more notifications, and God bless you always. Guys, we are done for our fundamental rules of integration. So, nabigay ko na sa inyo lahat ng rules. It's either algebraic or transcendental functions, their basics, and their operations involved. Okay? So, now we will use these fundamental rules of integration through the methods of integration. So, what are these methods? These are the methods that we will use in the higher calculus classes and applications. Then, it is really complicated. So, kailangan natin silang malaman, guys. So, we have, I think, 4 or 5 methods of integration. This involves the trigonometric integrals, the basic. Then, we have the integration by parts. We have the trigonometric substitution. We have the algebraic substitution. And we have the rational fractions, or the other terms, partial fraction decomposition. So we have 5, okay? So we will first discuss the first method, in which we will memorize a lot of terms, but don't worry, it's just trigonometry, okay? Here are the first rules that we will be tackling for this video. And this talks about trigonometric integrals. So, trigonometric integrals by the word trigonometric. So, meaning, we will involve trigonometric functions. Okay? It is divided into 3 sections. So, stay tuned lang guys ha. Do not forget to subscribe and share it to the others. This is really a long topic, pero I will try my best to shorten this one and to be concise. Okay? First is the powers of sines and cosines. Second one is the products of sines and cosines. And the third one is the powers of tangents, cotangents, and secants. Okay? So, for our first section, we will just discuss our first section in this video. So, for the next video, we will just succeed to the next section. Okay? So, for our first section, powers of sines and cosines, again, we will just use sine and cosine lang. But the other identities also that is involving sine and cosine. Okay? For this case, the assumption here is m and n are element of integers. Okay? That is positive. Okay? Usually positive yan. So if the integration of sine raised to m x times cosine raised to n x dx, we have 2 cases. The first case is if one of the letters m and n is odd integer. So, anong gagamitin natin? We will use sine squared x is equal to 1 minus cosine x squared as cosine squared x. And the other one will use cosine squared x is equal to 1 minus sine squared x. So, what does this imply? We can use the Pythagorean identities. Okay? So, if this will be used if this term has odd exponent. This will be used if this term has odd exponent. Okay? So, bale, ang gagawin natin dyan is factoring lang. And do not worry, we will aid you to solve this one. We will solve problems involving this section. Okay? So, for the second case, what if m and n are both positive integers? Then we have our double angle identities. So, if you will recall your pre-calculus class, you have this double angle identities. So, particularly, we use the cosine double angle. So, sine squared x is equal to 1/2 times quantity 1 minus cosine 2x. And for cosine squared x, it is equal to 1/2 times quantity 1 plus cosine 2x. So, mas madali siya, di ba? Kuna na integration compared in this case kasi we will use the identities. Okay? So, we will solve examples involving the powers of sines and cosines. Let's have 4 examples. Okay? the integration of sine squared x cosine cube x dx. So, yun na nga. So, napapansin nyo, meron tayong odd, meron tayong even exponent. So, what we're going to do here is we will manipulate the expression. So, how to manipulate? We can factor out, as I've said earlier. So, we can factor cosine squared x, cosine x. This, okay? So, anong gagawin natin dito? 1 will be transformed into its Pythagorean identity. So, di ba? Napansin natin, di ba? In the first, this is involving our first case. And our first case is maybe m or n is an odd positive integer. Which is, nakikita natin dito. So, ang ginawa natin, factor out ang cosine cube x into cosine squared x and cosine x dx. So, one of these terms will be substituted by its Pythagorean identity. So, ang mas maganda, ito na lang. So, we will substitute sine squared x times quantity 1 minus sine squared x times cosine x dx. Then, pansin natin, multiplication lahat. So, distribute lang tayo. Okay? So, this becomes integration of sine cube x cosine x dx minus integration of sine raised to 4x cosine x dx. What? So, this is sine squared. Sorry, sine squared lang yan. Sorry, sine squared. Okay? Sine squared, then sine raised to 4. And napapansin nyo, meron tayong cosine dito, okay? Kasi galing yan siya dito. So, for this case, we will use let u, or the u substitution. So, let u is sine x du is equal to cosine x dx for both functions. Okay? So, this becomes the integration of u squared, and this is your du minus u squared, or u raised to 4 rather, du. And we can easily use our power rule. So, this becomes 1/3 u cubed plus c sub 1 minus 1/5 of u raised to 5 plus c sub 2. Adding these terms will be constant. And the final answer will be 1/3 sine cube x minus 1/5 sine raised to 5x plus c. Okay? So, in some other professors will say, this is not the final answer, we need to factor out. So, sige, factor out na lang natin for the benefit sa iba. So, to factor out, we can use LCD here. So, the common factor here is 15. So, extract 1/15. Then, the common factor for this term is sine cube. So, this becomes sine cube x. Since negative to dito, then mas malaking power dito compared dito, we will extract the negative para mas maganda yung expression natin pagkatingin. Okay? So, negative 1/15 sine cube x ang ipa-factor out natin. So, this becomes, ito yung uunahin natin kasi nag-factor out tayo ng negative. So, if we factor out negative, this becomes positive. If we factor out negative, this term becomes negative. Okay? So, this becomes 15 divided 5, 3. So, this becomes 3 sine squared x. Okay? And 15 divided 3, we have 5. So, minus 5 plus c. So, this is our final answer. For our second example, we have this sine cube 4x times cosine squared 4x dx. Napansin natin, ito odd. So, basically, what we're going to do is we factor out this odd. So, this becomes sine 4x, sine squared x, sine squared 4x, and cosine squared 4x dx. And since ito yung pinactor out natin, we will substitute its Pythagorean identity. So, this becomes sine 4x times 1 minus cosine 4x, cosine squared 4x, times cosine squared 4x dx. Okay? Then, we will distribute the terms. So, this becomes sine raised to 4x times cosine squared 4x dx minus sine 4x, or the integration of sine 4x times cosine raised to 4x dx. Okay? Nagets ba? Distribute. So, for this case, we will let u as cosine 4x. And our differential will be negative 4 sine 4x dx. And remember, wala kang nakikitang negative 4 dito. So, we will divide both sides for this case by negative 4. So, negative 1/4 du is equal to sine 4x dx. So, we will simply transform everything. So, this becomes the integration of u squared times negative 1/4 du minus the integration of u raised to 4 times negative 1/4 du. Since we know already the basics, so we will just skip na lang our process para mas madali. So, our answer now will be negative 1/4, and you know that we use power rule, this becomes 1/3 u cubed. And if we multiply the constant to its constant, this becomes negative 1/12 u cubed. Okay? Then, if we integrate this one, this becomes 1/5 u raised to 5, and if we multiply it to the constant, this becomes plus 1/20 u raised to 5 plus c. Okay? Then, we plug in our u. So, this becomes negative 1/2 cosine cube 4x plus 1/20, sorry, negative 1/12 to ha. Then, this becomes 1/20 cosine raised to 5 4x plus c. Okay? So, for the sake of factoring, we will just factor out the common. So, the common factor for this case is 60. So, 1/60 cosine cube 4x. Since nandito na yung negative, okay lang yan. So, this becomes negative 5, or sige, unahin na natin to. This becomes 3 cosine squared 4x minus 5 plus c. Okay? So, ito yung final answer natin. Okay? So, if you have confusions, guys, please do not hesitate to comment there. Okay? Our third example will be cosine cube x dx. So, paano kung ganyan? Cosine cube x dx. So, what we are going to do? Still the same kung ano yung ginawa ko kanina. Kalimutan ko integral sign. So, the integration of cosine squared x cosine x dx. So, if we factor out, we substitute this one by its Pythagorean identity. So, this becomes like this. Okay? And we distribute cosine x dx. So, this becomes cosine x dx minus sine squared x cosine x dx. And for this case, this becomes sine. The integration of this one is sine x plus c sub 1. And the integration of this one is, since if we let u as our sine x, our du is cosine. So, du natin siya, and this becomes u squared. And if we take its integral, this becomes 1/3 sine cube x plus c sub 2. And if we rearrange, this becomes sine x minus 1/3 sine cube x plus c. Then, factoring out, this becomes negative 1/3 sine x times sine squared x minus 3 plus c. Okay? So, let's check. Tingnan natin kung mali ba. Negative positive. So this is correct. So this is the final answer for this example. The last one. This is the last one. Okay? So be careful guys when you take the differential ha. Baka makalimutan nyo yung yung differential ng angle. You review your differential calculus for that. For last example, we have the integration of sine for 2x dx. Sine raised to 4 2x dx. So anong gagawin natin dito? We usually do this case, sine squared 2x squared dx. Mas madali siya, di ba? So we can use now our identity in the case 2. So because kasi sine squared wala mang odd, even na lang natira. So we can substitute our term for our case 2. So that is 1/2. Take note of this one ha, 2x. And our angle is 2x here. So if we recall, sine squared x is equal to 1/2 times quantity 1 minus cosine 2x. If this is 2x, this is 4x na. Okay? So this becomes 1 minus cosine 4x squared dx. It's a bit tricky guys, okay? Kasi mahaba ang process nito. So pay attention. So we can distribute now our exponent. So this becomes the integration of 1/4 times 1 minus cosine 4x squared dx. And wala tayong magagawa, we need to expand. So 1/4, the integration of 1 minus 2 cosine 4x plus cosine squared 4x dx. Okay? So yan na yung ating yan na yung ating expanded form. So is equal to 1/4 the integration of, we can distribute dx na, minus 1/4 integration of 2 cosine 4x dx. But for this case, we have the squared. So medyo mahihirapan tayo dito, but madali lang yan guys. We need to substitute our identity for this case. So, ito yung bantay-bantayan ninyo guys. If there's an even, you need to substitute its identity. If there's an odd, you need to factor out and substitute its identity. So, bantay-bantay tayo. So, for this case, 1/4 cosine squared 4x dx. So, later na lang yan siya. Sabay-sabay na lang natin ito siya i-integrate. I will move this one here, ha. So, the integration of 1/4 na integration dx times cancel, this becomes 1/2. So, 1/2 the integration of cosine 4x dx plus 1/4 times 1/2 times 1 plus cosine, and take that this is 4x, so this becomes 8x na dx. Okay? So now, mas madali na siya. And the integration of this one is 1/4 x. Integration of this one is, if we recall, sine. Then we have one, di ba? We have the angle 4. So let you natin to. Pag let you, we have 1/4 man. So we multiply 1/4, so this becomes 1/8. 1/8 sine 4x plus, let's put a bracket para mas madali. So this becomes 1/8 the integration of dx plus 1/8 integration of cosine 8x dx. So it is really long, di ba? Pero na-integrate na natin ito siya dito. So we can add plus c na dito sa last. Kasi may na-integrate na tayo. Okay? So we copy 1/4 x minus 1/8 sine 4x plus 1/8 x plus its integral. So makuha na natin ang integral. Let u 8x du is 8 dx. And take note, 1/8 du is equal to dx for this case. So 1/8 times 1/8 is 1 over 64. 1 over 64 sine 8x plus c. Whew! Ang taas. Pero, di natin problema. We will substitute we will simplify. So, 1/4 plus 1/8, we have 12CD na lang. Para sandali. 8 3/8. Okay, 3/8. 3/8 x minus 1/8 sine 4x plus 1 over 64 sine 8x plus c. So, hindi natin siya i-factor out, and probably some of your professors will accept this one as your final answer. Okay? So, these are examples for this section in trigonometric integrals, particularly in powers of sines and cosines. So, for our next video, we will talk about products of sines and cosines. Product naman, hindi naman yung yung powers. Okay? So, we will have our practice quiz there so that you will not be able to, hindi kayo ma-confuse. Magamit natin yung tinuturo natin. And, kung meron tayong hindi naintindihan, just go back to the previous one, then watch again and watch again. Okay? So, here is our practice quiz. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my videos. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the bell button for more notifications. And shout out for Mr. Reggie Rodrigo, my mentor in Daniel R. Aguinaldo National High School. Thank you so much, sir, for supporting my videos. And to all our viewers there, share it to the others so that they will be able to know more about integral calculus class. And thank you so much, everyone. See you to the next videos.